Anime Los Angeles is always a really laid-back con, especially compared to bigger ones like Anime Expo. I went with my wife and my older brother. On Thursday, we got to our hotel, the Courtyard Marriott, at around 9 p.m. I was excited to see that there was a bus scheduled to take us to and from the convention. Right after getting everything into our room, we took the bus to the convention in hopes of getting our badges so we wouldn't have to worry about it on Friday, but registration had unfortunately closed at around 7 p.m. So we ended up just walking around outside a bit and then took the bus back to the hotel. The next day, we waited outside the hotel for about half an hour, but the bus never showed up. All the people waiting for the bus slowly started to lose patience, and we all ended up just walking to the convention. Thankfully, it was only about a 10-minute walk from the hotel. My friend KG Cosplay hosted a RWBY gathering, so I helped record some videos and photos for my wife who was cosplaying as Blake. We got to hang out with my friend Kindle, who I haven't seen in a long time. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll probably recognize her from my old cosplay days. After the cosplay gathering, my wife had a photo shoot, so I helped shoot the behind-the-scenes video for her. Shout out to Fotaku Network for taking the photos. After the photo shoot, we walked across the street from the convention center to an Irish pub called the All Dubliner. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I highly recommend this place. Their fish and chips were amazing. It was honestly my favorite food I ate all weekend. After that, we did what I came here to do, spend money on fan art. We walked through all of Artist Alley and I took photos of every piece of fan art that looked interesting to me. I really should have also taken a picture of the booth numbers so I'd remember where to find each work of art. Since I didn't, I basically walked through all of Artist Alley a second time to go back for all of the art I decided on buying. One booth had a Bocchi the Rock print that I wanted, and the artist offered a $5 discount if he could beat him at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with tournament rules, best 2 out of 3. Since I'm terrible at Smash, I asked my older brother to play for me. The artist played as Zero Suit Samus, and my brother played as Banjo. At first, it looked like my brother was going to be saving me some money. He was taking stocks off the artist really fast, but the artist started to figure out his playstyle, and then my brother accidentally threw the first match. Second match was a similar story where my brother started off strong but barely lost. I didn't mind paying the full price though. I thought his idea was really cool and creative. It seemed like it brought a lot more business to the booth too. I found a booth selling a really cool Kirby print, but they were out of stock, so they said to come back on Saturday. We got some sushi for dinner and then got some crepes for dessert and then called it a night. On day 3, went to Roscoe's Fried Chicken and Waffles for brunch and it was really good. After that, we walked to the convention for the Licorice Recoil gathering since my wife was cosplaying as Takina that day. When Licorice Recoil aired, it was the most hyped show of the season, so I was surprised that the gathering was a bit on the smaller side, but it was still a lot of fun. We went to check out the Spy Family cosplay gathering and I got to meet the popular cosplayer Jeffrey Zhang, who does this really buff Anya cosplay. At Artist Alley, my brother and I also ran into a childhood friend we hadn't seen in probably over 10 years, which was really amazing. I also was able to find that the Kirby print from the day before had restocked, so I bought that. On day 4, we visited the Takina car again since my wife was cosplaying as a different version of Takina. Other than that, we went to a Tom Fawn voice actor panel since he voiced Agumon. I forgot to get footage of the panel, but it was really cool seeing him talk about Digimon since I grew up watching that on Fox Kids. I wanted the fish and chips again, so I ended up going back to the All Dubliner. And then afterwards, I went to a place called King's Fish House and just ordered some raw oysters since I can't really get these where I live, and they were amazing. These are all the ribbons I ended up getting for the weekend. And here's a wall in my room before putting up my new prints, and now here are the new prints. ALA was a ton of fun like always. It did make me miss cosplaying a bit, so we'll see if I end up cosplaying again at some point in the future. I'm probably not going to Anime Expo this year, so it looks like I'll be suffering post-con depression for the rest of the year.